What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got another edition of The Drive-In, where I watch recently released films and tell you guys whether they're worth watching, worth waiting for, or worth skipping altogether. Today I'm doing one that is not quite as recent. It came out internationally in 2022, but debuted here stateside in America in 2024. I'm talking about one that really caught my attention based on internet scuttlebutt and all the conversation around how messed up it was. And I came in not knowing what to expect. And this, I think, is one of the first ever subtitled foreign language films I've reviewed on this channel. One of very few at least. I'm talking about 2022/2024's The Coffee Table. I will be bringing you guys spoilers in this video. Unlike any of my other videos, I usually go spoiler free. I'm bringing spoilers in this video because it is 1/3 years old, depending on where you saw it and when you saw it. But at the very least, it is a 2024 release. It's been out for a bit, and also because of the fact that the plot has so much to do with whether or not you're going to want to see this film. There are going to be a lot of people that are potentially triggered by what happens in this movie, and if you don't know what to expect when you come in, and there's certain things that you don't want to watch or don't want to see, it's going to catch you off guard and it's going to mess you up. So I will be giving spoilers for the benefit of trigger warnings in this video. So let's get into it and I'll talk about my thoughts of it. The Coffee Table, again, came out in 2022 in Spain, did the festival circuit, and came on to, I believe, Shudder and a few other places in 2024. Spanish language film, subtitled is the way that I watched it on Shudder. It was written by Cristina Borobia and Kay Casas, and directed by Kay Casas, and it stars David Pareja as Jesus and Estefania de los Santos as Maria. And again, spoilers are coming. This couple, Jesus and Maria, they wind up in a store trying to buy a new coffee table, and the husband comes across one that he likes. It's kind of tacky but kind of fancy. It's a table that doesn't impress Maria by any means, but the salesman is really pitching this coffee table to them. It's a glass top table that's held up by like ornaments, and Maria hates it and Jesus loves it. And Jesus tells Maria he never gets to pick anything in the house. This couple that's been married for a little while has just had their first child, and they're going back home and they want to add a new coffee table, and Jesus fights for it because he has nothing of his own in the house. So the couple fights, and eventually Jesus wins the argument and takes home this coffee table that the store salesman admits he doesn't really like personally, but he does say the glass is unbreakable. That's the big selling point of this table, because the coffee table can last forever because the glass cannot break. So this new couple comes home. This mother, Maria, who thought she could not conceive a child after trying for so long, and this couple that has been in turmoil over this for a long time, finally has this child. They get home. They put the glass down to try and set the table up. The mother, Maria, goes out to the store to get some things for the house because their brother's coming to visit later in the night. And trigger warning, here it comes. Jesus is alone with the child, and he's has the coffee table like on the floor, halfway set up. He's trying to get the child to go to sleep. He drops the child, and the child gets decapitated and killed by the glass that breaks on this coffee table. So the unbreakable glass breaks and happens to kill and decapitate this child. So their newborn baby they just had and had all of this consternation over is now dead, and the head is under the like chair cushion, like under the chair is the child's head, and there's blood everywhere, and the father's beside himself and in total shock, and the mother has no idea. And we spend the bulk of our hour and 31 minutes, that's the total runtime, hour and 31. It runs more like an hour and 26 with a lot of credits at the end, so about an hour and 26. But we spend the bulk of the time having the husband try and hide the fact that the child is dead. And he just says that he was cut by the coffee table glass, and the wife is laughing because the table broke, and she just thinks that he was cut on his hand, has no idea the child is dead for the bulk of this movie. And the whole tension resides in the fact that the father is trying to hold it together, but is obviously beside himself in shock, trying to keep the wife and mother from finding out that her child is no longer alive. So that is the movie, and I came in not knowing what to expect. I heard it was really messed up. I assumed it was going to be like a haunted coffee table or something, that they were going to buy this table because the line the store guy says is, this table's going to change your life. This decision you make is going to change your life. So I just figured the table would have like a wishes thing going on, or it would take other victims. It would kill multiple people, either by accident, by happenstance, or on purpose. I did not realize it was going to result in this child being violently murdered as a newborn baby. So that is immediately something that not all of you guys are going to want to watch. I have a lot of mom friends out there that ask me to tell them when either a child is killed or an animal is killed. And if one of those two things is the case, they won't watch the movie after having a child. And I totally understand that. Myself not having a child, I'm not fazed by seeing those things on film. I can separate film from real life in those things, and I don't have stakes in the matter like that. So I was not fazed by it, aside from the fact that it was really messed up. And I was like, oh, they went dark on that. But that is kind of the rundown of the movie. I'll get into pluses and minuses as jets are flying over my house for some reason. First of all, realism. I love the realism in how simple the movie is, and really the couple themselves. The couple are rooted in a pretty real couple. They bicker and fight. They snipe at each other, sometimes playfully, sometimes goes a little too far. They have a lot of ups and downs in their relationship. You join them in the middle of this conversation about this table, and you see they've been through a lot. You can tell they fought. They probably broken up a few times, gotten back together. They have love for each other, and you can tell they're willing to stick it out with each other, but also they fight a lot and have a lot of tension in their relationship. And it feels pretty real. It feels a little toxic at times, but it also feels romantic at times, and like they're having good moments. So you can tell that their relationship longevity has set into them, and they've been at this for a long time. And the stuff with the child and picking out things for the house have been commonality issues with them and arguments with them over a course of time. So the fact that they have this back and forth banter that's sometimes playful, sometimes happy, and a lot of times negative, feels somewhat rooted in realism. So I like how the dialogue is written and how the chemistry of the couple plays off, because it's not all straight anger, it's not all one note, it's not all joining them in misery, it's not all wishing for them to break up. There's moments of, like I said, laughter, moments of mutual praise, moments of arguing. So this couple, while being pretty negative by and large, has different layers to them, like some other older couples are. So I think that's super realistic, and I like how both the couple and the dialogue itself was written. So credit to Barobia and Casas for writing a pretty good script. Tension. This thing obviously is tense. Like I said, the child gets decapitated in the first 15-20 minutes, and we spend over an hour with basically with just three characters. A few other characters join us throughout here and there in spurts, but the main character, it's just the father at home trying to clean up this blood and figure out what to do with this child's body, and having his wife call him from the store about buying wine, and she's anxious because something feels weird, but she doesn't know what it is, and he's scrambling to try and clean things up and figure out how the hell to go on. And he's sitting there manic and depressed and anxious and sweating and just looks disheveled, but he's trying to not ruin the visit that the brother and sister-in-law come over, and they visit and they want to see the child, and they have their own news. And so this poor father, with very few words and just selling a lot of things through his face and showing off what he's thinking internally through his facial expressions and through his just distant stare, really tells the story well. So they minimalize what the actors have to do, and they do it really well, and it makes the whole movie tense. Not a ton is happening, but this one big event has just changed their lives instantly, and you can feel it in this movie. Acting overall is great. I enjoy all of the actors. There is one next door neighbor that's good. There's a comic relief daughter of the next door neighbor that is over the top, but still rooted in realism too. And she's really good, and the other couple that comes over is really good, but especially these main two, David Pareja and Estefania de los Santos. My first time seeing these actors, obviously, and I think, like I said, not just their chemistry with each other, but in their reactions to things and their subtleties, and when they choose to ratchet things up, is just done incredibly well. So the acting really sells this. When you're doing a more simplistic movie, where it's basically just a one setting, one event kind of thing, it takes really good acting and pacing to make it work. For an hour and a half film, this could have been very long if this one event didn't feel impactful and the actors didn't sell it and make the pacing ratchet up with their small emotions. And they did a great job in that. The music in this too, when the music chooses to hit and helps out with the changing of events and the changing of how important things feel, the music is great. Simplicity. This whole thing is simple. Like I said, it's one event in one place with minimal actors and people coming in and out and just having to sell things with very small dialogue and small moments and small facials. And they really achieved that the whole time. Gore. The gore is really good. Some of you guys might not want to see the gore because it revolves around a child. But when they choose to show the gore, whether it's on the ground, whether it's the head, whether it's anything else, the gore is done very well. And they don't shy away. I mean, foreign horror films usually do it and linger on it more than we do, and they do in this movie. It is pretty gruesome. My only real negative for this, my only true negative, is the trigger warning. This automatically is going to take out a big portion of your audience, because if you have young mothers or people that have child sensitivities to any kind of violence or blood or anything to do with children, they're not going to watch this film. You are going to isolate part of your potential audience here. And people that don't know that it's coming and it comes, it's going to make them ill and it's going to make them turn the movie off. So that is your big negative. I'm not, like I said, I wasn't fazed by it, so I kept it going, but I cringed a couple of times going, oh, they really chose to go there. Okay. The ending for me is a plus/minus. Definitely not a bad ending. A little predictable, a little obvious, but also heartbreaking at the same time. It is also kind of in a way rooted in realism, and it's rooted in sadness and rooted in reactions that are not entirely unrealistic, but it does feel like it is a quick, kind of abrupt one-note ending. While that's not a bad thing, it was kind of the obvious thing. So I'm going to give that one a plus/minus. But overall, if you want a Spanish language subtitled film with minimal characters and settings that are based around one event, but they carry it because the acting and the pacing and the dialogue and everything is really sharp, and the event feels traumatic, and the trauma and the tension is just wrought throughout. If you like things that are tense and you're not triggered by something like child pain, death, blood, things like that, you're going to like this movie. It's not for everyone, but I quite enjoyed it. I'm going to give it overall a 7.5 out of 10, and I am pretty harsh when it comes to foreign language films and subtitles. I'm a snob when it comes to that. I don't usually enjoy reading movies. I have a hard time getting to focus on everything else that I enjoy about a film when I have to read what's going on. But I was engrossed the entire time. I really enjoyed everything about this for the most part. So if you can stomach this kind of thing and this kind of thing won't put you off, I think you'll enjoy The Coffee Table. 2024 release that is now officially on Shudder. If you get a chance to go check it out, I would recommend it. Tell me in the comments down below what you thought of this movie. If you saw it, are you kind of put off by the trigger situation? Do these kind of things bother you? And just curious, out of curiosity in the comments, what are your triggers? What are your deal breakers for horror movies that go too far? What kind of things will you not watch? Is it like male decapitation with male body parts? Is it like rape revenge kind of films? Is it killing animals? Babies? What is it? Tell me in the comments down below if there's something you will not watch and why. And tell me what you thought of The Coffee Table. Please like, share, and subscribe these deep dives. And tell me what movie you want to see me review next, because I have plenty more coming up on the docket between film reviews and Steelers stuff in the next month. So come back, and I'll see you guys soon.